What's going on, guys? So this is kind of crazy. You see this back here? You see all that? That's insane. So anyways, so obviously I've changed things around a little bit. Hopefully I can figure out a lighting situation back there. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know, and then I can kind of figure something out as far as what I can do to brighten up a little bit of stuff back there. Not quite sure yet. I'll figure something out. But anyways, that's not why we're here. We are here because I finally have another earbud review for you, and this one for me is actually kind of special because one of my favorite ever truly wireless earbuds was the Fiil T1x. They decided that they wanted to follow them up with another pair, and you should be able to see from my fancy little top-down camera right about there. I have the Fiil T1xs. Now these ones were recommended to me. I asked a couple questions to Twitter, and I actually asked it to. I want to say it was specifically to El Jefe Reviews. If you haven't seen his channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Go check it out. I will leave a link to it in the video description. But he is probably one of maybe a handful, and when I say a handful, I mean maybe about 5 people that I actually 100% trust when I ask them a headphone related question. Right off the bat, I love and I hate the case. It's a weird dynamic that they got going on here. I love it. It's small, it's compact. I really like that. The one thing I don't like about it is the fact that it's glossy, and you might even be able to see it under my lights here. It is a really glossy case. I don't like that. I don't like the feel in my fingers. It just, I don't like it. That's number one. I don't like the glossy. I wish they would have done a more of a matte feel to it. Even if they would have kept the white, but more of a matte finish on the case. I don't like the glossy. It's just not me. I don't really care for that. Anyways, we'll kind of go around the case here. Right up front, you do have your charge light. It'll tell you the status of the charging earbuds and things like that. I would like to see more of a quad light setup, kind of, 25, 50, 75, 100% type. But this one, I mean, it does its job. Around back, thank God we have USB-C charging. I don't know what I would be doing without USB-C charging on something like this. And then that's really it on the case. I don't believe we get wireless charging with the case. I could be wrong. But when you open, look, I'm going to show you on this camera. You see that? You see this? Look, I am tilting the hell out of these, and it is not falling. That I absolutely love that about this case. I will take a glossy finish if I can have that. It doesn't click, and obviously it does end up shutting eventually. Look how slow that is. It does end up shutting eventually, but it stays open at a good angle before it really starts saying, all right, I quit. You know what I mean? So that right off the bat, absolutely love that feature of these. I have been saying that on just about every truly wireless earbud that I do that has a case that opens like this. I hate it when it's just flimsy. I hate that. Absolutely hate it. So that I am glad they included in this. But as you see here, we have our earbuds in there, and I really like what they did with the white and the gray on these. Even in the case, you see the white and the gray in the case. I like that just kind of contrasting look to these earbuds. I don't know, really caught my eye. But just kind of taking a trip around the earbuds here. You got your touch sensor here, and then around here you got your little ear hook thing deal. And then obviously you have your earbud itself, and then I want to say probably right around this area here, you're gonna actually be looking at it's a sensor, so that it can know if you pull your earbud in or out of your ears. And actually the sensor could be back here too. That could be a mic too. That I would assume is a mic, so I'm thinking this guy right here is the sensor. So anyways, it works fairly well, I would say. It's not fantastic or anything, but it gets the job done. It does generally know when I pull an earbud out of my ear, not always, but most of the time it does. So, and honestly, that's probably about as much as I could expect. Usually I pause my music before I take the earbud out anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. Not to me anyways. That's really all you're looking at here, and then you do have your status light on the earbuds there. Very out of the way, very non-obtrusive to really anybody around you, so that's always nice. Sometimes they get kind of obnoxious, and it's kind of nice to see just kind of a muted kind of feel to it, to where it's there, you know it's there, but it's not going to really distract anyone if you're wearing them in bed or anything like that. Let's move on to battery life. So Fiil says that you get, I want to say it was like 24 or so hours out of the entire battery life in this thing. And that equates to about 6 hours per charge, which is roughly about what I was getting. Not exactly, but close enough, I would say. And I was listening to my music at about 65% volume, right around that area. So I would say battery life is sufficient. I've reviewed some headphones where it's not the greatest, and I think 6 hours is about good. I would like to see 8, but 6 is decent. It takes 40 minutes to charge them up when they're in the case. So the sound quality on these is, it kind of took me back a little bit, because I'm so used to these newer earbuds giving you, just that strong bass, and then they just kind of just go down from there. You know what I mean? They don't really have the greatest highs. Mids are kind of recessed. These, on the Fiil T1xs, I have to say that I was very pleasantly surprised with the sound. It's more of a flat sound profile. The bass is a little bit boosted, it feels. Not to a crazy degree, but it does have a little bit extra bottom end than just a complete flat profile. But also, the mids and the highs are actually extended too. So when you do have a bassy song, the bass doesn't interfere with the mids or the highs at all, which is fan-freaking-tastic. I absolutely love the fact that you can put these in your ear and expect a fairly accurate representation of what the artist was going for. It's not going to be absolutely, fantastic high res. It's not that. Although they do say that it does support AAC codec. So, but the sound profile on these is very, very good. I really like the more flat kind of across the board. Everything is a little boosted, but it's not crazy. The highs don't really ever get piercing. The mids are nice and smooth, and then the bass just kind of rolls right into the mids. It doesn't intrude on them though, you know what I mean? It does actually come with an app. We're looking at both of the buds, and it's showing that both of the buds are at 100% each, and then it does need a charge on the case. So that's cool, you get all that right there. This not detected here is actually showing you, and you see that? I put the left one in, and it says that it does detect that I have it in my ear. I take it out, and it should go back to not detected. So that's what that is. It's just telling you if it detects that it's in your ear or not. The next tab over, we have our EQ settings here. I left mine on original the entire time. That's where I got the best sound profile for me. You may be a little bit different, but that's where I stayed. Bass, it does boost the bass quite a bit, and you can actually see that is a fairly accurate representation of what it does. It boosts the bass, and then it does recess the mids and the highs a little bit. And then treble, same thing. Treble would be great for podcasts if you're just listening to podcasts, things like that, and you want to pull out some more of the voices. Honestly, probably even movies to a certain degree might benefit from that. But me personally, I left them on original the entire time. I didn't tweak the EQ at all. They do have more settings here that you could go to, cinema, classic, jazz, all that good stuff. I didn't mess with that too much. And then you can go into the advanced EQ settings, and you can actually adjust each frequency to fit your needs as you please. So that's nice that they give you that kind of linear control of what you're listening to. This DSP audio enhance, it's supposed to enhance the audio of what you're listening to. I didn't I didn't hear too much of a difference either way, but it is there. If you hear, that's fantastic. And then over here, full control mode. This gives you a whole different kind of options as far as touch controls on the earbuds. So I want to say it's set to one press on the left side will increase your volume. Double press pauses your music. Triple press decreases your volume. On the right earbud, one press, I want to say, skips the track forward. Double press, don't remember, and triple press skips backwards. So I hate touch. I hate it. I'd much rather have a physical button. That's my preference. But I do not like touch buttons on or touch sensitivity on truly wireless earbuds. I just don't. Low latency mode, turn that on if you want to play your games. It does help a little bit. I didn't really notice a whole lot of latency anyways, so it wasn't that big of a deal to me. But if you do play more mobile games or anything like that, it might come in handy for you. So you can turn on and off the wearing detection if you want to. Really all that does is if your music's playing, you pull out your earbuds, it'll pause your music for you. Firmware, you could update your firmware here. Advanced settings, you could go into your wear detection settings and adjust them. Touch control sensitivity, adjust that. And then if for some reason your left and right earbuds get out of sync, you can actually go back and resync those. I didn't have any of those issues. That literally was not an issue for me. It's not something that really ever came up. So that's not, I wouldn't say it's something that you have to worry about, but it is nice that Phil decided to throw that in there just in case. Overall thoughts on these earbuds. They are probably the best pair of truly wireless earbuds you could get under $50, as long as you like the sound profile. Now, like I said, you can adjust it with the EQ, so that does help quite a bit to figure out, if you want more bass and less treble and mids, you can accomplish that, or if you want a custom EQ or anything like that, it can be accomplished. So that's nice to have, but I honestly think leaving it in the original setting as it's intended, as they have it from the factory, is the best representation of how these earbuds sound, obviously, right? So I personally, I would definitely 100% recommend these, but with the caveat being that if you do want that bassier bass, that just really hard thumping, change your heartbeat bass, you know what I mean? These ones are probably not something that you want to pick up. If you just want strong bass but you don't want to lose any kind of detail in anything else, these absolutely fantastic. Go ahead right now, go pick them up. $50, well worth every single penny you spend on them. So that's kind of the middle ground there is, do you want more bass? Do you want a shitload of bass? If you do, these aren't it. They're not, unfortunately, but if you don't, if you want a little bit more pulled back bass, but you still want the entire sound stage there, these ones are absolutely fantastic. I love listening to them, watching movies, fantastic. And plus, the case is little. You won't go wrong if you get the Fiil T1xs. And it's the exact same thing that I thought when I tried the original Fiil T1x. They are fantastic headphones. I absolutely love them. If you guys have any questions about the Fiil T1xs that I didn't address in the video, please go ahead and leave a comment. I do my best to answer every single comment that I get. While you're there, go ahead and like, subscribe, turn on the bell, all the fancy shit that we all ask you to do. And until the next time, wait, before I go, what do you guys think? Do you guys like it? Is it too dark back there? Let me know. I want to make things better. I wanted to do something different. You know what I mean? So anyways, if you have any suggestions, anything you don't like back there, if it's, I got the little blue light, but it doesn't really seem like it's quite bright enough. So if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, throw those in the comments below too. Until the next video, I'm out. Later.